Everyone, my name is Esther. We are working adults and an ODL student, so life is a constantly balance and a change for us. With work and study piling up, we often struggle with procrastinations and poor time management. Sometimes we don't even know what to do first, either from our work or study, and suddenly we do neither of it. So our goal for this project is to create a simple behavior plans to beat the procrastinations, to manage our time better, and finally feel in control of our productivity, like procrastinations. Sometimes we have assignment that going to due, but after a long working day, we are too tired to further up on our study or our assignment. So what is the choice? Maybe watching Netflix will be our choice. And poor management, we think that we have plenty of time, but sometimes out of sudden you might have a meetings or some emails or some random stuff that popping up, then the whole day gone. The deadline is tomorrow and we are start panicking for the assignment. So not knowing for how to prioritize is also a problem when work, study, all mounted up with family stuff or other chores. So what do? We might choose to organize like a wardrobe instead of finishing our urgent assignment that due soon. So all this result of piling up and we get stressed and end up rushing up with everything is in a mess. A better behavior or a habit that finally we can take control no matter on the time or the task. So we are going to fix this behavior, make ourselves get more organized, and finally stop living in this chaotic life. So the goal for this project is to improve the time management, reduce the procrastinations, and learn how to prioritize tasks. To beat procrastinations, we need to get tasks to do early, not when the deadline is approaching. So no more I will do it later, but we will do it now. For better time management, we plan our day, break the big chunk of tasks into step by step, a very small single step. Or we can use planner, not just depends on our memory. We tend to get things forgetful easily. And for prioritizing, we learn what is more important now and focus on that first. No more spending hours on the small stuff or while the important things are still pending. So bottom line is we want to stop make ourselves rushing on doing certain things and make ourselves more stressful and get things done in a smarter way. So say goodbye to procrastinations and say hello to the productivity.
Hi everyone, I'm Eva. I'm going to present the first part of our presentation, which is about tracking procrastinations before starting a treatment program. Before we began the interventions, we wanted to understand how serious the procrastination problem was. So, we tracked how often procrastination happened throughout the week. In observation week 1, we recorded total frequency of procrastination, which was 27 times. From the summary, we noticed that Wednesday had the most procrastination episodes with 6 times, while Saturday and Sunday had the least with only 2 times each. This showed that procrastinations were frequent throughout the week, especially midweek, a clear sign that change was needed. On the right, you can see a table of our detailed observations. It includes date, activity setting, time, behavior observed, and the frequency. For example, on Monday, procrastination was observed 5 times, mostly involving phone and social media users. During the morning, on Wednesday, the subject spent a lot of time on TikTok and delayed tasks, which explains the spike in procrastination that day. This data help us understand the pattern of behavior and prepare us to implement strategies to reduce procrastination effectively. Next, to address the problems, we introduce several simple behavior strategies. First, goal setting. We use SMART goals, meaning goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We also broke large tasks into smaller, more manageable parts. For example, instead of just saying finish assignment, a SMART goal would be finish the introductions and literature review by Wednesday, working 2 hours a day. Next is time management. We apply technique like Pomodoro method, which involves 25-minute focused work followed by 5-minute break time. We also use time blocking, assigning specific tasks to specific time slots, and the Eisenhower metric to prioritize urgent and important tasks. For example, of this would be study from 8 to 10 a.m. using the Pomodoro method to stay focused and structured. Next, then we use reinforcement technique to stay motivated. Positive reinforcements means rewarding yourself after completing a task, like enjoying a snack or some Netflix. Negative reinforcement is the relief you feel after removing stress, such as finishing a task and no longer worrying about a deadline. We also apply cognitive restructuring. This means changing negative thought into helpful ones. For example, instead of thinking, I don't feel like doing this, you replace it with start now, feel better later. It helps shift your mindset to support your goals. Lastly, we practice self-monitoring. This involves tracking progress through journal or apps and reflecting weekly on what worked or what needed improvement. For instance, if you notice that phone notifications were distracting you, you could adjust by turning them off during study time. With all of these strategies, we created a strong foundation to reduce procrastination and improve productivity. Next, I will pass to the next presenter who will explain the outcomes of these strategies and how effective they were.
Hi everyone, I'm Umu. Now, I will be presenting about the summary of the result during the treatment. We used fun techniques like SMART goals, Pomodoro, positive reinforcement, and cognitive restructuring. The table tracks how many times we did each activity in a week. The table tracks how many times we did each activity in a week. As you can see, SMART goal technique was used twice in a week. Using SMART goal technique has made it easier to focus because of being able to set clear tasks. As for the Pomodoro technique, it has helped with short focus bursts of work. You can see we applied these techniques consistently every day. For example, Pomodoro and reinforcement made up 22% of our activities. Using these techniques, it has helped with being more focused, less procrastination, and having time management. I will be talking about other ways to beat procrastination. All the 2-minute rule. It's basically about finishing a task that only takes 2 minutes or less. Example, setting reminders immediately so that you don't miss the deadline. Next is temptation bundling. Temptation bundling is a strategy that combines a pleasurable activity with an essential or desired task that one may be procrastinating on. For example, while studying, you listen to a calming music as well. This will help you become more focused and reduce stress. Another way to beat procrastination is distraction-free zone. It is basically when you design a space to help you become more focused. For example, keeping your phone away from your study table and keep all your study tools nearby. Last but not least is Eat the frog technique. It's about doing your hardest task first thing in the morning. For example, you finish that big assignment before emails or other chores.
Hi everyone, I'm Farhana. So now let's move on to the evaluation part of our program. First, we saw a noticeable improvement in reducing procrastination. Before starting this program, many of us would often delay tasks, causing unnecessary stress and last-minute pressure. Through the techniques we applied, especially time blocking and SMART goals, tasks become more organized and achievable. Next, we achieve better time management. Using to-do lists and the Pomodoro technique, we learn how to structure our time effectively, breaking big tasks into smaller, manageable parts and setting clear priorities. One method that stood out was the Eat the Frog strategy, where we tackle the most difficult or least appealing tasks first thing in the day. This really helped improve productivity and reduce the stress of leaving through tasks for later. So, combining SMART goals, Pomodoro session, and to-do lists result in more focus and less stress overall. The combination of clear objectives and structured working time help create a more balanced routine. However, while this method worked well, we believe the program can be improved further. We suggest some upgrades like consistency in self-monitoring, setting up a distraction-free environment, and continuing to prioritize important tasks. In summary, this program has shown positive changes, but to stay motivated, it's important to keep using what works, make small adjustments, and stay committed to better habits. So to conclude our project, we found that this treatment program was quite effective in reducing procrastination and improve our time management. The structured use of clear goals, task prioritizing, and motivational techniques help us to stay more focused and organized. Throughout the program, we became more aware of our habits and learned how to manage our tasks better using methods like SMART goals, Pomodoro technique, and Eat the Frog prioritizing. These strategies give us a sense of control over our workload and reduce the stress we usually experience. So as for our future recommendation, there are a few important things to consider. Firstly, it would be good to explore the long-term effects of this method. While the short results have been positive, it's important to see whether we can maintain these improvements over time. Secondly, we suggest personalizing the strategies. Different people work better in different ways, so having more flexible, customizable options would allow us to choose techniques that suit our own routines, preferences, and work styles. Lastly, adding mindfulness technique into the program could be a great improvement. So mindfulness can help with mental clarity, stress management, and focus to make it a valuable additional for a more balanced and productive daily life. In short, this program worked well, but with a few thoughtful upgrades, it could become even more powerful and sustainable for everyone. Thank you.